Okay, so in previous lessons we've talked about manual mode, shutter priority and aperture priority. Now, again, I can't emphasize this enough. Learn manual mode first and then you can make the camera help you while understanding what you're doing with the semi-automatic modes. But there are a couple of other modes on the camera that I'm going to cover, and I'm going to cover them all in this one video because I think they fit together quite nicely. So you have P mode on most cameras, which is program mode. Some people joke that it also stands for professional mode. Essentially, in P mode, program mode, you can adjust both the shutter speed, the aperture, and the ISO, in fact. And what will happen is, as you adjust one, the camera will adjust the other two for you automatically. Usually you would set the ISO manually and the camera will ignore that, but if you adjust the ISO, then the shutter speed and the aperture will also adjust. Now, where is this particularly useful and where is it troublesome? Now, this is a mode that, in my experience, is favoured by photojournalists because it allows them to quickly switch between prioritising depth of field, like they would with aperture priority mode, and prioritising shutter speed for movement while maintaining a consistent exposure. Because if they move the aperture, the camera will move the shutter speed, but they will reach a end at which the camera will not let you move any further, and that is because the image would become overexposed or underexposed based on the camera's metering system, in which case you would need to manually adjust the ISO, although you can also set auto ISO within program mode to allow things to go however you want. Now, the other mode is fully auto mode. Now, fully auto mode, the camera takes care of everything. It's the worst mode on every camera. And the reason it's the worst mode is you as the photographer have absolutely no artistic control over how the image is rendered other than the composition and the framing of the image itself. I would suggest that you stay away from that mode other than in very particular circumstances, but in most of those circumstances I would suggest you're better off using the program mode, and at least you have some impact on what you want to happen. Now, on some cameras you will also get what are called scene modes. These are fully automatic modes, but you, by selecting that mode, are telling the camera the sort of thing you are photographing. So it'll often be things like a picture of a man running for sports, a picture of the sun for a sunny day landscape, a picture of a mountain for a landscape, a picture of stars for nighttime, a picture of a person for portrait, etc. So that tells the camera some indication of what you would like prioritized based upon traditional values in those areas. But as I've said, I don't know how many times during these lessons, learn manual first. Once you understand all sides of the exposure triangle and can cope with manual, then you know when the camera would be useful to assist you. Now, everything we've talked about has been based upon exposure. All of the automatic modes, the camera moves to what it thinks is the correct exposure. The camera determines the correct exposure based upon how it meters the scene. So in the next video, we're going to talk about metering modes.